Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another class on verbling.com with
Hello.
teacher Abby. Hello, hello. David, how are you? David, how are you today?
I'm fine, thanks. You have chosen the most interesting topics for me. Fashion and space flights.
And outer space.
I have planned only one class for today, but Neil Armstrong deserves an extra effort after my tennis match.
Perfect. Well, I'm very happy that you've joined us. Very happy, David.
Okay, thank you very much.
Your teacher is off her game today, so she really appreciates your support.
I'm not resting enough. In this hour, I should taking a nap, but Neil Armstrong and you deserve the extra effort. So if I lose, you will be the guilty.
Okay, that sounds good. I will take the blame for you. Just tell him to call me and I'll explain the whole situation. Victor, welcome back to class. Good to see you.
Hi, Abby. Glad to see
Hi.
you as well. Thank you.
It seems like, has anyone been having problems with Hangouts lately, with Google Hangouts?
Yesterday I had problems, but today no.
Today it seems okay?
Yeah.
It seems like there's still some issues going on depending on where people are living, but for me it's okay. I haven't been having any problems.
Let me interrupt one moment.
Mm-hmm.
In your back, there is a Mulan picture.
Pardon?
There's a picture in the wall behind you.
Yeah.
She's Mulan,
No, I painted her.
but who is this?
Who do you think?
Mulan,
David,
Disney
we've already
character.
talked about this.
The Disney character, Mulan. It looks like Mulan.
No, it's not. Who is it?
Oh, yes.
David, it's me.
Okay, Mulan was a warrior, so okay,
Oh,
your eyes. These are your eyes, absolutely.
This is me as Cleopatra.
Oh, yes,
See on the
yes,
top. That's
I
kind of hard
agree.
to see. I'm going to take her away from my background.
I know, it's fantastic. Don't worry.
That's me when I thought I could be an artist. I was so
No.
wrong.
Don't do
No,
it.
it's great. Don't
Victor,
worry.
did you say don't do it? Don't quit your day job? Is that what you're saying to me, Victor?
Sorry?
Are you saying don't quit your day job? You won't be a successful artist?
Oh, I confused. Sorry.
That's okay. It was just a joke. Raphael, welcome to the class. Good to see you.
Hi, Abby. Good to see you too. Did you paint this picture?
I painted that picture when I was 15 or 16 years old. I can't remember. It's over 10 years old now.
That's awesome.
My mother has so lovingly kept it.
Nice.
Thank you, Raphael. Welcome back, Ali.
Hi, Abby.
Hi. I don't know if it's just me today. I feel like everything is moving in slow motion.
Yes.
I feel I need to learn to relax, I guess, because it's making me want to like just start reading everything. But that's okay. We're gonna get started. Neil
You are
Armstrong.
frozen in my screen now.
I am?
Yes.
How embarrassing.
No, don't worry.
How about we just turn the camera off for a little while? That'll be better. Maybe that'll fix it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Neil Armstrong. Victor, what do you think of when you hear that name? What comes to mind?
Apollo 12 or 13, I don't remember.
11.
11, maybe. And first man who stepped on surface of the moon.
Really? Excellent. What do you think of Raphael? What kind of person do you think Neil Armstrong was? What kinds of qualities do you think he had?
I don't know. I didn't know him. So, but maybe it's a, maybe I think it's a brave. It had courage.
Excellent. Very good. Maybe he had courage or he was courageous, you could say.
I think he was hero.
A hero.
A hero, yeah,
Nicely done.
definitely.
Anyone else think of words that describe Neil? Let's just pop them off. Tell me what you think. What kind of person was he?
Almost crazy.
Almost crazy.
Yeah,
Interesting.
you
Why do you
have
say
to
that?
be. The line between bravery and craziness is very, very tiny.
Thin, yeah.
And the spacecraft where Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins flight to the moon was a can, like a can of Coke. So you have to be extremely brave to get your body into that and you say, okay, I'm going to fly to the moon in this. In those days, it was the best and the best technology, but uh, I read an article about Buzz Aldrin talking about Apollo 11. I say, when I see what are they using nowadays to go to the space, and I see my spacecraft, I said, oh my God, I was crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Especially when you consider the journey, you want your vessel or the that you're traveling in to be strong, right?
Yes.
Very good. Anybody else want to give a comment about what comes to mind or what they think of when they hear that name, Neil Armstrong? Hi, Alla. Welcome to class.
Hello, teacher. How are
Hello,
you?
hello. Nice to see you, Alla. I'm doing well.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
asking.
Thank you.
Anybody else have a comment about Neil Armstrong?
Yes, teacher.
Tell me.
Uh, yeah, I actually met him in when I was in high school. I met him personally. That was in 1996. Uh, so our school was hosting some celebrities that that have achievements or influence, and they make a speak for uh, high school students as a kind of maybe inspiring or to learn something. And
Awesome.
Neil Armstrong, yeah, was one of them. Uh, so it's one of the best, yes, the best or the most interesting meeting was. Mhm.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Really good. Do you remember something that he said, Alla, that really stood
Yeah,
out to you?
yeah, he was very proud because he's the first one, of course. Yeah, and I remember someone asked him maybe like a hot question when he asked him about because there is a theory or a proposition that the United States during uh, the Cold War. They said that they actually did not go to the moon, and it
Hmm.
was fabricated or it was shooted out in like cinemas in studios or something like that. So he laughed and assured everyone that no, he was in the moon, really.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you that. It's funny you said that because I was going to say, did anyone ask him if it was fake?
Ah, yeah.
And they did. Very nice. Thanks for sharing that with us. That's really cool. Very good. Now, some people, like our very own Victor, for example, called Neil Armstrong a hero. Why do you think he's called a hero by some? What do you think, Victor?
Because you have to be very brave to make that decision to fly not kind of out of space and did something first. To do something first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a huge leap of faith, right? A huge act of bravery. Do you have any other reasons, Ali, that you think he should be called a hero, or do you think that's an overstatement?
Uh, I don't know if he is a hero or not. Uh, uh, Obviously, he is a brave person because he tried the first thing in the history. It's an important person, I think.
Absolutely. Ali, what were you passionate about when you were a young child? What's something that you loved when you were a child?
Oh, hard question.
Everybody's going to answer this question, so everybody can start thinking. What were you passionate about as a young child? I will start. I was passionate about animals. I loved helping animals, playing with them. It didn't matter if it was a turtle, a snake, a kitten, a dog, a horse. I loved animals, and I was also very passionate about music and singing. What about you, Ali? What were you passionate about?
Hmm, I don't know. I am not passionate about anything so much, I think.
When you were a child, you didn't love anything in specific?
I don't remember, actually. It's a long time ago.
Okay. What about you, David? What were you passionate about?
Well, my passion as was a child definitely was the army, the navy, more specifically, because my father was a lieutenant. So I grew up between vessels, aircrafts, and carriers, or all this stuff. So I loved. Uh, in fact, I tried to follow his steps and
Mm-hmm.
become a navy officer, but officer is the word.
That is correct, yeah. A Navy officer, or a Marine,
Uh,
or is it different?
a marine is a kind of people who belongs to the navy.
Okay, and
For example, American Marines uh, travel in a vessel and they land and they conquest, for example, a city. But they are also the crew of the ship. So I would like to be, or uh, option one, the crew of a ship. Option B, a pilot for for Navy, a Navy
okay.
pilot.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I was
Interesting.
daydreaming every day with
Aw,
aircrafts. Yes,
little David, how cute.
yes, but only in the Navy, but only for peace, not for killing people.
Yeah, no, that's a great ambition. What about you, Raphael? What were you passionate about as a child?
I think my answer is the same as Ali. I haven't had a passion in my childhood. I perhaps it, perhaps it could be one of my flaws because I haven't had something to like, or we had lots of passions, but they are so quick. We don't remember. When you really love something, it's for your whole life. But a passion, it's something passenger.
Okay, interesting. Interesting
So
answer,
I think
Raphael.
it's funny you mention that because perhaps this these words are similar, passion and passenger, so they have some relation about.
Absolutely. What about you, Victor? What were you passionate about as a child?
I was passionate about cars when I was a child.
Cars.
Yeah. I lived near to an organization that had many trucks,
Hmm.
and I helped drivers with any their works. I knew everything about their works.
Interesting. So that's something that you just love to, did you work on cars or did you just like looking at them? What about cars? Was it that they were fast or they're shiny? What do you think you were so attracted to?
I just liked mechanisms, like engines,
Ah, okay.
transmissions. I loved it.
And look,
Repaired.
even you today, you still like to fix things like computers and things like that. So that's
Yeah,
just a
yeah,
part of who you are. That's
maybe.
wonderful, Victor.
Yes, you're right.
And what about you, Ala? What were you passionate about when you were young?
As a young child, I was passionate about soccer, playing soccer, watching, um, knowing everything about soccer, about favorite teams,
Hmm.
favorite players, like this stuff.
Excellent. Good answer. So do you still feel like you're passionate about those things today, or has it changed?
Yeah, it's not as a young child, of course, but still has influence on me. Still, yeah, watching play. I love to play also soccer, but not as a young child, of course. I was really passionate, and uh, I spent much times in the field playing soccer when I was young child.
Very good. Good answers. Ali, do you have anything you can think of yet or no?
No,
You were you you were passionate about numbers maybe. Did you like math?
yeah, yeah. I like my math my whole life.
There you go. See, I knew you were had a passion.
Yeah, maybe it's not passion. It's just talent. I think.
Yeah, passion is a strong word. We don't mean to be weird. I'm just simply saying something that you really liked when you were a young child.
Do you mean I am nerd?
No, not at all. You're the coolest guy ever, and you wear tight jeans. That makes you even cooler.
I am a kind of nerd, you know.
Well, I'm a nerd too, if it makes you feel any better. I'm also very nerdy. Okay, let's go to our vocabulary.
Era de sí, sí, jo. Es que es de Neil Armstrong, entonces joder, no pude negar.
David, are you talking to us?
Oh no, sorry. Sorry.
That's okay. Let's go ahead and start with our vocabulary preview. We're going to match the words to the ones on the right, and then we're going to use them in the article. So let's see if we understand them before we get started. Raphael, go ahead and start for us. Do number 1. And try to remember the context, okay? We're not talking about football here. We're talking about something else. Go ahead, Raphael, number 1.
Touchdown. I think it's letter. To land.
To land. Excellent. So give me an example, Raphael, using touchdown with land. When does that happen?
The plane has just touched down.
Excellent. How do you feel when the plane touches down, Raphael?
Relieved.
Yeah, relieved. Finally the flight's over, right? Get me out
Yeah.
of this plane. Good. Anyone else have a question or an example they'd like to share? Number 2, Victor.
Passionate. See, to have a strong interest in. Yeah.
Nicely done. Nicely done. So tell me about one of the passions that one of your daughters have, something that they love or they're really interested in right now at this point of their lives.
My elder daughters nowadays passionate about events that named 30 Seconds to Mars.
Events that, what? Something 30 seconds to?
To Mars.
To Mars. Okay, so that's what she's thinking about.
Yeah, I know everything, every their thing.
Wow. Interesting young woman. Thank you for sharing that with us, Victor. Aka, what is something that you are passionate about? Welcome to the class.
Thank you very much. Passionate about now, I'm passionate about learning English.
You are?
Yeah.
Good for you. That's why your English is so fantastic.
Oh, thank you very much.
Wonderful. Nicely done. Let's go to number 3, and Aka, I'll get you to do that. Read number 3 and match it with the definition on the right.
Okay, certificate. I think B, a document that confirms one's knowledge in a certain area or industry.
Wonderful. Very good. Has anybody in the class ever received a certificate? A certificate?
Yeah.
Tell us about it. Let's hear. I'm going to hear from both of you. Raphael, tell me first. What kind of certificate? What is one certificate you have received?
When I graduated from college, I received a certificate. Every course I join, when I finish, I receive a certificate.
Why are certificates so valuable? Why are they so valuable?
Because there are a lot of valuables. There are a lot of value in the certificate. It means there is professional value, and there is also a social value, because unfortunately, we live in a society which respect people who had. It's not enough you have the knowledge; you must prove it. So that's why certificates are made. So
awesome, good answer. That's so true. Very, very true. Thank you, Raphael. And Ala, did you want to tell us about a certificate or something that you've received?
Yeah, as Rafael said, the university's certificate, and every workshop you have to receive a certificate that secure or that prove that you have been there and you get the knowledge necessarily for the job or for doing something specific.
Excellent. Very good, Ala. Any other comments or questions about certification, certificates, what it means, how it can be used?
I have a teacher's license. Can it be called certificate?
Yeah, you're a certified teacher.
Okay. I see. Thank you.
Congratulations, Aka.
Thank you.
Number 4. Let's go to, we've had a few come in. Where are we at? Who was the last one to do that? It was you, Aka, right?
Yes.
Okay, so number 4, Ala.
Aerospace, the field of flight.
Excellent, very good. The field of flight, aerospace. Has anyone heard any? Okay, how do we determine when a plane can land and when a plane can take off? What kinds of things do people look at to give information about that?
Maybe for you mean for people in the plane, in the airplane?
Hmm. How does the pilot know what's going on in the aerospace around him?
There is a center on the land, on Earth, that give him information. They send information for each other, and when he get the approval to land from the maybe the center on the airport, he start to descending with the plane.
Very good, exactly. And we call that center air traffic control. They monitor aerospace. Next is Ali with number 5.
Okay. Determined. Uh, is it A? Having a strong will to complete a goal.
Having a strong will to complete a goal, absolutely. Ali, what is something that you are determined to do?
Learning English nowadays.
Okay, so can you use the word determined in a sentence to say that?
Uh, uh, I determined to speak English like native in short time.
Okay, you can say I am determined. Good, very good. Now, besides speaking English, who else in the class would like to share a determination that they have, something that they are very insistent on accomplishing?
My workouts. I'm very determined to accomplish my training goals.
Excellent, good example. Me too. High five, David.
Okay, let's run. Let's run.
Let's do it. Okay, anybody else want to share something that they're determined to do? Number 6. Hi, Andre. How are you?
Hi, Abby. I'm fine. How are you?
Good. It's
Sorry,
nice to have you.
sorry, I'm a little late for the class.
No problem at all. We're just happy to have you. Go ahead with number 6.
Okay. Aviation. It's the field of flight, I guess.
Is aviation the field of flight? No. It has to do with flight, but the field of flight is aerospace.
Ah, okay. Then it's the combined industry of aviation and space flight.
Excellent. Very good. So what interests you more, aviation or space flight?
I guess both. I'm interested in both fields.
Yeah? What do you like about space flight?
What do I like? I like everything concerning the space flight. For example, the recent technologies to send people to kind of space travel. I think Virgin Group makes some kind of spacecraft, and the Tesla Group as well.
Very good. Thanks for sharing that with us. Does anyone else want to talk about what they think of aviation or space flight? Number 7, David?
Inadequacy. Something that doesn't work well. There is room for improvement.
Yeah, very good. So tell me about something that you think is inadequate.
It's a tough one. Something inadequate. Maybe people sometimes in job interview are dressed in a inadequate way.
Absolutely, yeah, very good. So it can be maybe something that is also considered not good enough for something else, right? Very good. Can anyone else give me an example of something that was considered inadequate, not good enough, or doesn't work well?
Behavior.
What do you mean, Andrew? Can you explain?
Maybe someone behaves not like inappropriately in some situations, so we can call him inadequate.
Yeah, good example. Very good. You could say your behavior is inadequate. It needs to be improved.
But can we say, for example, someone is inadequate?
Yeah, he's inadequate for the job.
Okay.
I didn't understand properly this term inadequacy. That means something doesn't work well, but it also means something is not appropriate for some application. But at least at my understanding, it doesn't mean exactly doesn't work well. It's just not suitable for the application, but it can work well in another place, another situation, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. It's usually referring to a specific situation, Raphael. So maybe you're inadequate for this job, but you're perfectly qualified for a different one. Okay? And inadequacy is the state. It's a noun. The state of being that way. So, for example, the car is inadequate. It will not get us to our destination. Okay? Does that answer your question, Raphael, or are you still confused?
No. Go ahead.
Good. And let's go to number 8. Actually, it's your turn. It's your turn, Raphael, right?
I don't know. Okay.
Go ahead.
Commander, the leader of a mission.
What kind of qualities do you think a commander would have to have?
I think he needs to know the right time, how to use, in which he must use, when he has to use autocracy and when he has to use democracy, when he had to be smart and have wisdom in order to take the right decisions, depending on the situation he is undergoing.
Lovely. Good answer, for sure. So I like how you said that he needs to have a combination of those two things. That makes him a good commander. Number 9, Victor?
I have a question before I read.
Okay.
About inadequacy. How can I say, for example, I am inadequacy in cooking, or I have inadequacy in cooking?
You could say I have inadequacy when it comes to cooking, or you could say I am inadequate when I cook.
Okay.
Okay? Meaning you don't quite fill the role.
Can you write it? Number 9, dock. To secure a vehicle after arrival at a destination.
Yeah, to dock the vehicle. Very good. And the last one, Akka, number 10.
Okay, complications. What industry need a secure vehicle? Means complicated?
Complications.
Equal to complicate. So what is I don't know. something that doesn't work well?
No, it's not just complications, or not just complicated like confusing. It's also when
Medical. Medical.
The combined industry of aviation is specified.
it is difficulties, medical.
Difficulty. Oh, I see. That's a new word for me. Sorry.
No worries at all. Okay, so for example, say if somebody has surgery and the surgeon says, you know what, we're having some complications with the surgery, it means that they're having some difficulties. It's not as successful or as smooth running as they'd like it to be.
I see.
Alrighty?
Okay.
Very good. Let's go ahead and get started with our reading. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us in the class. Let's start with Ala. Would you like to read paragraph number 1, please?
Yes. On July 20th of 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first man to walk on the moon. Millions of television viewers watched the Apollo 11 touchdown and heard Armstrong deliver his famous line, "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind."
Okay. Thank you for your reading. Excellent pronunciation. Any questions? Any questions on the vocabulary here? So what do you think he meant, Ala, when he said that's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind? What do you think he meant by that?
Maybe it's kind of maybe he's humble, so he's not saying that achievement for himself. He said that it's a small step for him as a man, maybe, but for the world or for the maybe for the science, it's a big leap or a big step.
Absolutely. Good answer. Anyone else have a comment about that statement?
I think he meant by saying this quote is that just the single happening was a kind of a new beginning, and it could be a start for a new series of discoveries we could follow after this step. So that's why he mentioned when he tried to say a giant leap. So the giant leap means new discoveries could be happen afterwards.
Excellent. Very good. Very true as well. So the effort of one man has been able to have an effect on all humans, for mankind in general. Okay, let's go to paragraph number 2. And Ali, can I get you to read the first half for us?
Okay. Neil Armstrong became passionate about flying in elementary school after taking a flight with his father in his home state of Ohio. Armstrong took flying lessons in high school and received his flight certificate before his driver's license.
Okay, thank you very much. And Andre, could you finish that for us?
After studying aerospace engineering in Purdue University, Armstrong joined the Navy and became a fighter pilot. During the 1950s, Armstrong flew 78 missions in the Korean War. Following the war, he returned to university for further schooling, got married, and had 3 children.
Very good. Thanks for your reading, Andre. How do any questions on the vocabulary? How do teenagers generally feel about getting their driver's license? Victor.
They passionate about it.
Why are they so excited? What does it mean for them?
When they get their drive license, they will be more free, I think.
Absolutely. It means freedom, right? Maybe
I
a
think it's the
one.
most. I think it's the most powerful weapon to flirt when you are a teenager.
It's good for the ladies, is what you're saying.
Yes, especially if you have an expensive car.
Yeah, especially if you have a nice car to drive around. That's for sure. Very good. Anybody else have it? If you don't have a car, it's not good. Ali, this is true.
Yeah, you have a driver license, but it's useless. You just carry it on your wallet
Yeah, exactly. You show it off.
for years. Yeah.
I could drive if I wanted to. I remember when I got my driver's license, I was so excited. I wanted to drive everywhere. I'd offer to drive. Oh, do we need any milk? I'm going to go get the milk. Or do we need this? I'm going to go drive and get that. So how do we know that Neil was passionate about flying? How do we know that this was a serious passion that he had?
Because he had his flight certificate before driver's license.
Yay! Good job, Ala. Absolutely. So obviously for him, it was the thing on his mind, his passion. Any questions or comments? Paragraph number 3.
Maybe getting driving license require an age, maybe 18 years old, something like that in their country. That's why he get the certificate before the driving license.
Absolutely, it could be. It could be.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
Number 3. Let's go down for David. Okay, can you do number 3 for us, David?
Yes. After graduation, Armstrong became a determined test pilot. He was fascinated by aviation design and flew and tested at least 200 different models of aircraft. Armstrong loved problem solving and took many risks while searching for inadequacies in flying machines.
Good pronunciation, David. Any questions here?
No,
What did Neil Armstrong, what did he do? What kinds of things did he do to explore this passion that he had?
be crazy and put his life in risk to find the limit of the aircrafts.
Absolutely. Good job. Good understanding and good way of answering that question. Let's go to paragraph number 4. Raphael, can I get you to read the first highlighted part for us?
In 1955, Armstrong joined the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, NACA, which later became NASA. He became officially known as an astronaut when he was assigned to be the commander pilot for Gemini 8.
Excellent. Gemini 8.
Gemini 8.
And the last part of that paragraph, Victor, please.
After docking 2 vehicles in space in 1966, Armstrong was chosen to be the commander for Apollo 11, America's lunar landing mission. On July 20, 1969, Armstrong stepped on the moon and was joined by his crew member Buzz Aldrin.
Thank you very much, Victor. So how did his career develop? He started out with testing all these different planes, then he ended up flying to the moon. How did that come across, Victor?
He became a determined test pilot. He fly much, and then he joined the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics.
Very good.
And then he became officially known as commander.
Absolutely. He became the commander for Gemini 8. He took 2 trips to space
Yeah.
and then obviously landed on the moon, which was the peak of his career. And the last paragraph, number 5, with Akka.
Neil Armstrong continued working in the field of aeronautics as a professor and researcher. He died on August 25th, 2012, at the age of 82, after suffering from heart complications following surgery.
Okay, so after landing on the moon, flying, becoming a commander pilot, working with aircrafts, testing them out, what did he decide to do with that knowledge that he had?
Teaching universities and researching in the university, probably.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Do you think that's a good way to use your knowledge?
Absolutely.
I think so, yeah. And one of my university's student became astronauts of NASA. Kind of. These are researchers and such kind of how can I say space discovery things is connected.
So, sorry, you said what was connected at the end there?
Sorry, kind of astrology and how can I say work of NASA is heavily connected, or rocket technology or something like that.
Okay, very good. If you guys were to take maybe your life's work and use it to benefit other people or help other people, how would you do it? How would you do it? Oops. Does anyone have a comment for that? If you could take your life's work and help other people benefit by it, what would you do? I'm already teaching English, so I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay, I
Sometimes-
would like. Oh, please
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Let's start
No,
with you,
you-
David.
Okay, I would like what is strong for me, but I would like to join in a non-profit organization in my town who helped kids with has cancer. Play with them and stay with them at the hospital, helping them. But I want to do it, but I know it's strong, a very strong experience. So I'm struggling with myself. I do it, I don't do it. I do it, I don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I should do it because probably this kind of kids has a lot of things to teach us about life.
It's definitely a possibility, right? You never know how your skills might influence or motivate another young person. Anybody else think of a way that they could use their skills that they have to help other people? Ali, do you think you could be a good math teacher? Maybe you can help me with my math.
Yes, why not?
That would be a huge job for you. I'm just warning you in advance.
I can teach you math. That's easy.
No, it's easy for you, but teaching me would not be easy, I'm telling you right now. I'm artistic, not mathematical.
I think all of us has a role in the society. If we do our job properly with love and hard work, so we are doing a benefit to the society.
Absolutely, that's true. So even just being a good citizen, right, can set a good example for other people. Okay, let's do a little vocabulary review. We'll see if you guys can remember the words. You can always open up your personal document to look back up to the vocabulary list if you have to. But let's start with number 1, and we will get Aka to do that for us. Number 1.
Okay, so young children who are blank about art often become artists. What should I fill in the blank? Correction? Okay. Who are about art often become artists. Who are commander passionate. Passionate about art.
Passionate. Nicely done. Very, very good. Number 2. Let's go over to Ala.
He's not here, maybe.
Oh, whoopsie. Sorry about that. Ali, number 2.
He's run away. Because difficult question.
Ali, number 2.
She received a nursing certificate after completing her schooling.
Perfect. Very good. She received a nursing certificate. How would you feel if your nurse had no certificate, Ali? Depends what she looks like, right?
Yes, if you are beautiful, no matter, without certificate.
Doesn't matter what procedure she's doing.
Yeah.
No, obviously you want your nurse to be certified, to be a registered nurse, right? Number 3, Andrew.
The determined runner completed the marathon.
Awesome. Why do you think determination is required to complete something like a marathon?
Because it's very hard to complete the marathon, and you need to have a very strong will and be very motivated and determined for that.
Lovely. Excellent answer. Yeah. Very true. David, number 4.
The surgeon warned the patient's family that there might be complications.
Excellent. Good job. And number 5, Rafael?
The airplane touched down despite of the poor weather.
Sorry, what was that? Your microphone's cutting out a little bit.
The airplane touched down despite the poor weather.
Excellent. Good job. Very good. And Victor, I've made one just for you in the chat because it's that's our last one. But do you want to do the one in the chat?
The juniors felt very blank when the patient came in with a broken arm. Felt very inadequacy.
Very good, but except for I made it the adjective. Sorry, just because we use the adjective so much more, which would be inadequate. Okay, good job. Do you guys have any questions or comments?
No, I would like to add some interesting point.
Please do. I love interesting points.
Yes, about the number of missions. The mission who lands in the moon was Apollo 11, but there were not 10 missions before. There were only 5 missions before Apollo 11.
Mm-hmm.
Apollo 1, in the Apollo 1, during the countdown, there was a fire in the cockpit, and Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chaffee, the crew of Apollo 1, died. So they decided, NASA decided to jump to Apollo 7 because 7 is a lucky number. So they were only five missions before Apollo 11, and all these one were a test. So they have never been, and they have never done what Apollo 11 was supposed to be done. So they were taking a small step to complete the final schedule of the Apollo 11 mission. But
Interesting.
completely improvisation. Every mission was an improvisation. Okay, we are going to one step and one step and one step. For example, Apollo 7 go to fly around the Earth. The spacecraft which goes to the moon has two parts. One who lands in the moon, and the other part who is flying around the moon. And at the end of the mission, they dock again and they come back to the Earth. So the Apollo 7 only both ships were separated and dock again. Apollo 8 was alone to the moon to come back. Apollo 9 separated the two aircrafts and dock again. And Apollo 10 arrived to the moon, separate, and the lunar module, as known as LEM, go down only 1,000 feet to the soil of the moon, and came back to the command module, to central command module. So they went again to the Earth. And the last one, the Apollo 11, they separate, and the LEM arrived to the moon. But in the PDF that you have shared, the big forgotten personality is Michael Collins, who was the pilot, who was the person who was in the spacecraft around the moon. He was the most important in the mission, because if he is ill during the redocking, the three will be died for sure.
Okay.
Because he has the responsibility to dock the LEM to the control module again to come back to the Earth.
Very interesting. You weren't kidding when you said you were passionate about this subject.
Absolutely passionate, yes.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much.
I'm reading a book about that now.
You'll have to tell me more about it later, okay? We have to close the class, but thank you guys so much for coming. It was lovely to see you. Good job with your reading, your conversation. Any questions on the vocabulary or anything that we saw?